This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Wow, this episode was supposed to be a simple roundup of chat apps, and instead it became a nightmare of unspeakable evil, as you will soon learn, because I'll be speaking about it. We'll still highlight chat apps, but rather than discussing features, we'll learn what you might want to be concerned about when choosing them. The things that I say in this episode can be found with citations at getitdoneguy.com/chat. Voice communication gave us protection. Only 15 years ago, we talked by phone. We expected privacy and security. Wiretapping was expensive. It required a warrant. Recording without notice was illegal. And laws protected us from the gross misuse of our communications. Our modern tools are chat apps, and they do what phones can't do. They break all of those expectations while promoting misunderstanding at unprecedented levels. We call this progress. And with that progress in mind, let's chat about chat apps. Know which apps that your contacts use. Chat may still be the most popular use of the internet, but there are dozens and dozens of different chat apps, and different people use different apps. When you meet someone, record how they like to communicate in their address book entry in your phone. When you want to communicate with them, just look at their address book and go. There's no need to try a dozen different chat apps to find out which one they're on because you recorded it. Pretty much all the chat apps let you send long text messages, pictures, video clips, stickers, which are really just pictures, and audio clips. Most also allow group chats, and any chat app that doesn't do these things is pathetic and probably not worthy of mention. But each one has its own special features, and many have sinister shadow sides as well. Oh boy. Text messages, SMS, are the most basic chat app, and those are your cell company's text messaging. It's called SMS because it stands for Short Messaging Service, and both Android and iOS smartphones let you send long messages by chopping the long messages up into short pieces and then reassembling them at the other end. You can also send multimedia messages, including pictures, audio, and group chats, and all of this travels over the phone network. It's not necessarily particularly secure. A lot of messages aren't encrypted, and your phone company may keep copies of everything. Depending on your phone plan, you may also be charged on how much you send and receive. Apple Messages. Apple Messages arose as a way to send messages that avoided SMS charges. Messages get sent over the internet, not over the phone network. So Apple users can send each other messages that travel purely over the data network. If an Apple user wants to send a message to a non-Apple user, it gets sent as a regular SMS text message instead. Messages between Apple users are encrypted from end to end. They're stored on Amazon servers, but they're stored in a way that even Apple can't decrypt them. Messages sent via SMS, of course, are sent unencrypted, and they may get seen by a phone company. Skype. Oh, Skype was created in Sweden as a secure platform for private video conferencing and chat. It was purchased by Microsoft, who consolidated the data centers within the US and gave intelligence agencies unfettered access to all Skype servers. In 2018, they doubled down on anti-privacy and anti-security by giving Skype social features, quote, unquote. And now anyone can figure out who you've been Skyping with and who's in your address book with a very, very small amount of effort. If you want to delete your account so that somebody can't do that, they enforce a 60-day period before they delete the data, probably to alert the NSA to take one last look at everything you've done. Skype is popular, but do not expect discretion, do not expect secrecy, and if you're a lawyer who wants your client list kept private, don't expect that either. WhatsApp. WhatsApp is one of the world's most popular messaging platforms, and it's owned by Facebook. But they promised to keep it private and secure. They promise a lot of things, and the penalty for breaking those promises is nothing. Indeed, when WhatsApp founder Brian Acton left Facebook, he declared in interviews that Facebook was pushing to compromise WhatsApp's privacy, but of course, they say you can trust them, so I'm sure it's true. Signal. This brings us to Signal. Signal was created by security fanatic Moxie Marlinspike, and it's now funded by the very same Brian Acton who left Facebook over privacy issues. It's encrypted from end to end, though they do have centralized servers for routing the data and also for connecting you with your contacts the first time. But voice and video conversations go directly between the two people communicating and do not go through Signal servers. Signal is constantly working on ways to provide secure private communications with their own servers being involved as little as possible, and it's 100% open source, which means that the security community can externally verify its integrity. Yay, it's the only one that does that. Signal is my personal platform of choice, and many security professionals find it to be their platform of choice. Facebook Messenger. What to say? Facebook Messenger is the poster child for evil. It's chock full of all the privacy-invading, psychological profiling, manipulative addiction that we've come to expect from anything Facebook touches. Facebook scans your conversations to profile you for ad targeting. They keep copies of your entire message history with everyone, forever. And they accidentally leak user data to hackers. They purposely give it to their business partners with no oversight. And they use it to deliberately manipulate people to influence elections, which they did as an experiment as far back as 2012. It's public information. I don't know why this hasn't come up in the media. More recently, they've refused to testify when summoned by Parliament, causing Parliament to take the unprecedented action of seizing internal Facebook emails, essentially by force. If it's your cup of tea to support this kind of behavior, or if you think that the marginal convenience is worth enabling this kind of bad behavior, then Facebook Messenger is your platform of choice. And rest easy. Facebook Messenger almost certainly won't get you slaughtered in your sleep. Just ask anyone from Myanmar. Google Chat and Hangouts. Well, the other big privacy-invading behemoth is Google. Google Chat and Google Hangouts are their free communication tools. According to a 2015 article and later articles, the only ones I was able to find, Hangouts isn't really very secure. It has some encryption, but Google refuses to say that it's encrypted end-to-end, and they basically don't answer questions about the end-to-end security. You can trust them, though, because when they do things that might give you pause, like accidentally exposing your data to the outside world, they do the responsible thing, and they own up to it immediately. Just kidding, like everyone else, they lie and cover up their actions in order to, quote-unquote, protect their brand. We do know for sure that Google scans your email without a warrant to prevent the spread of certain illegal content, and they turn you over to the police if they find it. Whether they do this with Google Chat messages is currently unknown. I would use the Google Chat and Hangouts for non-sensitive work conversations, but not for anything else. After all, we can believe them when they say do the right thing. It's just that they don't say right for whom. Snapchat. Snapchat started by letting teenagers send naked pictures to each other that vanished after 10 seconds. Well, of course, then it turned out that they didn't really delete the naked pictures off their servers after all. At this point, I have no idea what the status of that is. However, they've become sort of a full-on media company and a chat app. And now lots of things don't disappear, and the app is oriented around watching video stories from advertisers. So if you want a general media app with questionable content, this one had how to whiten your teeth, presented by someone who looked like a tattooed bodybuilder wearing only boxer briefs, Snap may be just the thing. If you want true privacy and security, however, it may sort of do that kinda, I wouldn't trust it. Confide. Confide is a pretty cool app. Confide assumes that someone can physically look over your shoulder, so messages are displayed blotted out, and then you hold your finger over the display to see the decrypted text. In 2016, researchers found that Confide's security could be compromised with the right sort of attack. Confide promised to address the problem, but I haven't been able to find a source for whether or not they have. So for protecting against over-the-shoulder spies, Confide is in fact the only choice. But whether or not it's secure enough to protect you from cyber spying or from, government oversight or whatever, that's much less clear. Kik, K-I-K. Kik is a chat app oriented around group messaging. It does it all. Group chat, messages, pictures, etc. 40% of US teenagers use it, and anyone can register with an anonymous profile. According to an article in August 2017 Metro, Kik messages are stored unencrypted on their servers. So you may be anonymous, but your anonymous messages can all be read by Kik and traced back to your IP address. They also have a whole web page devoted to telling parents and teens about law enforcement and emergency procedures. Law enforcement and emergency procedures. On a chat app. They don't actually mention abduction and murder, but we're smart enough to read between the lines, aren't we? Whoa, stop the presses. Seriously, when I wrote that last line, I thought I was joking. Only, upon further investigation, it turns out I wasn't. Kik was implicated in the 2016 murder of a 13-year-old girl. The newspaper articles on Kik all seem to stress that its anonymity has allowed it to be widely used for child exploitation and by pedophiles to groom young children. So I guess there's that. WeChat. WeChat is the gigantic Chinese chat app used by a gazillion people. It's a Chinese chat app. It's also used by the Chinese government to track every citizen and wipe out nonconformity. I would imagine that the Chinese government can read, profile, and track everything that happens on the app. I'm not sure we need to say anything else about it. So which one should we use? I hope I've terrified you by now, and if you want more detail and links to the sources for this episode, you can go to getitdoneguy.com/chat. only one company seems to have the right mission and the privacy and security chops to actually pull it off, and that's Signal from Open Whisper Systems. Go to signal.org and grab Signal today, and if you must chat, chat safely. I'm Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and, if you must, on Facebook. If you're self-employed or a small business person, Get It Done groups help you stay focused on what's important and develop the habits that you need for consistent, successful progress. Learn more at steverrobbins.com. Work less, do more, chat safely, and have a great life.